Ladies and gentlemen, our 2010 Southeastern Farmer of the Year.
In 2010, Glenville's Robert Dasher, who grows Vidalia sweet onions, was named the Southeastern Farmer of the Year.
And it is Robert Dasher, Georgia.
He said something from the stage 8 years ago that's as important now as it was then.
I'm just happy to be in agriculture. We have one thing that the rest of the world does not have. We can produce food and clothing where Far East might can produce oil, but you can't eat oil, and we can produce food. And when everything's said and done, we have a commodity here that will be sought after way beyond oil.
There are fewer of them and many more of us. But somehow, the American farmer overcomes weather and blight and plague and continues to feed and clothe America and parts of the rest of the world. You wouldn't want to have to count on someone else to do that, would you? Now, meet our farmers as WTOC and Lassiter Equipment present Proud to be a Georgia Farmer.
Agriculture is Georgia's #1 industry. Bigger than the ports, bigger than transportation, bigger than the movies we see filmed all over the place. It's also arguably the most efficient. In a minute, you'll meet a man who farms 8,000 acres with just 9 employees. But most importantly, it's a small handful of folks who make life possible for over 300 million Americans and countless others around the globe. Tonight, we'll meet just a few of them. All right, let go. Chris Hopkins is raising a ball player and a farmer on his land in Lyons.
I have 2 small boys, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they're by far the best crop we've ever raised.
With his and everybody else's kids in mind, Hopkins is involved in soil conservation efforts to ensure that Luke will still have land to farm by the time his feet can reach the pedals.
I hope that we leave things better than we found it, so that if my 2 boys decide they want to farm, that they have that opportunity. So trying to preserve this land and leave it in better condition than I found it is big for me.
Chris grows cotton and peanuts on his 900 acres. He's also on the Georgia Cotton Commission, and he supervises the Conservation District, and he sells John Deere equipment for Lassiter, and he knows enough about farming that farmers call him for advice.
You know, he's there to help forward you along, and that's beneficial.
We are all in it together. When they're successful financially, we are successful.
If you send Chris an email, you could look for a reply at 3 in the morning. His complete devotion to farming includes being involved in the political arena, where decisions in capitals can have enormous consequences in the field.
What happens in the political arena affects us on the farm more than we realize.
Even though they're ostensibly competitors, farmers have learned that success is only possible if they work together. Southeastern Gin and Peanut, with facilities in Douglas and Surrency, is proof of that.
So my personal peanuts go to Southeastern Gin down in Baxley, Georgia, but Southeastern Gin is a member of Premium Peanut, which is a farmer-owned co-op. It is the largest shelling plant in the world, located in Douglas, Georgia. So very fortunate to have that in our back door, and a group of farmers had the opportunity to go together and put in that shelling plant. So not only did we grow the peanuts, but we also had responsibility of delivering them directly to the shelling plant, such as Premium Peanut here, where they are then sold finally to the candy companies and peanut butter manufacturers, and some of them even go overseas. So very unique that we have that opportunity to be vertically integrated in the peanut business.
Through such cooperative efforts, Chris hopes to keep the family in farming if the boys choose that for their path.
Looks like our 4-year-old probably will be the farmer in the group. Our 8-year-old loves to play baseball right now, so I hope that both of them have the opportunity to come back if they choose. That would certainly be a blessing to me, but the farm provides them an opportunity to watch life play out in front of them every day, to watch something be grown, worked, and harvested, and teaches them a little sweat equity and a little bit about life, and allows them to be close to me every day.
Over in Rocky Ford, Jason Smith knows how deeply the blood and soil are mixed. He's the 4th generation in his family to experience the magic of seed and sustenance. Smith Farms grows cotton, corn, and peanuts, but peanuts are his pride and joy.
Our soil type is the best for growing the tastiest, healthiest peanuts. That's what makes our soil so unique to the Georgia peanut.
The Smiths farm 8,000 acres with just 9 employees whose strong shoulders bear an awesome responsibility.
We're not only feeding our family, we're part of the world. We're feeding the world because we all work together. All farmers work together to feed the world, provide something healthy and nutritious for the world.
There are fewer of them and many more of us. But somehow, the American farmer overcomes weather and blight and plague and continues to feed and clothe America and parts of the rest of the world. You wouldn't want to have to count on someone else to do that, would you? Meet Our Farmers, Thursdays on The News at 6, sponsored by the Lassiter Equipment Group.
What are these? My eye lab. I got 2 pair and a free eye exam.
At My Eye Lab, get 2 pair for $59.95 plus a free eye exam.
The closer you get to home, the more you know the commute is worth it. For all the work you pour into this place, you sure get a lot more out of it. You and that John Deere tractor, so versatile, you can keep dreaming up projects all the way home. It's a longer drive, but just like a John Deere, it's worth it. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Our only motivation is to provide you great service, savings, and equipment. It's our everyday. Visit LassiterEQ.com.
F&B is celebrating 70 years of community banking, and since we are the area's only locally owned and operated bank, you'll find that every dollar at F&B will be invested right here at home. This makes a difference if you own a business. So come in and meet our business professionals who are experienced and ready to help you. We have a long history of serving our community and investing in local businesses. Those local dollars have helped our community grow, and we are ready to help your business grow too. Call us today at 912-489-2600.
What are these? My eye lab. I got 2 pair and a free eye exam.
At My Eye Lab, get 2 pair for $59.95 plus a free eye exam.
If there's one thing that's been consistent with farmers since the beginning of time, it's their love-hate relationship with the weather. And this year is certainly no exception. Remember the snow from this past winter? Well, the onions remember it too, and that was just one of the curveballs Mother Nature threw this year, says Robert Dasher from GNR Farms.
It's been an unusual year. We've had cold snaps. We had late frostings on the onions, had a lot of windy weather, and a lot of snaps of cold the last 3 or 4 days. And when it gets cold like that, the onion kind of slows down and doesn't grow. And then it tries to make up for that lost time. Sometimes you have a little bit of splitting because they're trying to grow too fast. And those that break the skin, you take them out if it don't clean up with the process of the brushes. Right at the moment, the quality looks good. I would say the size is not quite as big as I have seen in normal years. We had more variation in weather, more wind. You naturally had the snow. I don't think the snow affected it much, but it's them cold nights and windy nights and a quick change of temperature. And they didn't know whether to grow or shut down.
But Dasher says that in spite of the wacky weather, they're in a good position to deliver another 4 to 5 million pounds of sweet Vidalias to the marketplace.
With the harvest season, if you can have a good dry condition, no foggy mornings, rain will set you back. If you have a perfect season, clear weather, labor force seems to be pretty good. We've had some of the same people been working with us 25, 30 years.
The Dasher family pioneered the sweet onion business in Tattnall County. Robert says his dad, Walter, couldn't have imagined the growth of the onions when he started farming them in 1945.
You couldn't even fantasize it. No way. We'll pack more onions in one day than we did the whole year. Now, we have sent out as many as 15, 20 trailer trucks a day, and back then you wouldn't get 7 or 8 trailer trucks a year.
The Vidalias have begun shipping, so head to the grocery store, or better yet, the grill. We'll be right back.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare Health Plans with zero or low plan premium. Call 1-877-424-1281 now. That's 1-877-424-1281. Representatives will provide detailed information and help see if you qualify. WellCare provides access to a large network of local and regional doctors and hospitals. Plus, some plans may include benefits for dental, vision, hearing, Part D prescription drugs, and more. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be right for you. Call 1-877-424-1281 now. That's 1-877-424-1281.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty hearing? A major name brand hearing aid provider has a special one-time offer, a free in-office trial, and an incredible discount on a remarkable new hearing instrument. This offer is free of charge and you are under no obligation. Now is the perfect time to see how well you could be hearing your children, your grandchildren, and your friends. These computerized digital hearing instruments use the latest technology. They're so small they hide out of sight while performing millions of precise calculations per second to give you the highest range of comfortable hearing. These instruments are clinically demonstrated to improve hearing in noisy environments. Every participant will be required to have a free hearing evaluation to determine candidacy. This is your opportunity to find out the level of benefit you can expect to receive from hearing aids. After the in-office trial, you may purchase the instruments at a substantial discount with a 30-day guarantee full refund. Call today to take advantage of this special one-time free offer.
It's onion season, so the folks at Sykes Farms aren't attending many weddings or birthday parties this time of year. They're busy harvesting, packing, and shipping their onions in a sophisticated process with little margin for error. When Alan Sykes started Sykes Farms, it was 7 acres of onions and 15 acres of tobacco.
Humble and humbling beginnings, but the Lord blessed us and we were able to prosper.
Today, the tobacco's gone, replaced by 1,600 acres, all devoted to sweet Vidalia onions.
We can never compete with other onion growing regions if we didn't have a mild onion. So we have to stay mild. That's our trademark.
To grow his business, Sykes figures he's made hundreds of loans.
I mean, this is $1 million right here. It takes a long-term commitment to get it all paid for. And when it's paid for, it's worn out. Yeah.
But long before he was buying expensive equipment, he was making his most important loan with an uncle, who's a banker, Paul Eason of Tippins Bank. Eason explained real early how it was going to work.
And he said, this is how we're going to get this paid for. He said, and everything's going to go good. And when the money tree don't bear, there ain't going to be any hard feelings. I'm going to turn my hat around backwards, put my banking hat on, and we're going to have a friendly foreclosure, and we're going to go back to work. And I said, yes, sir, I guess we will. I have no choice.
That conversation never happened because about the same time Sykes was borrowing money, he was marrying Tracy.
I just knew it was going to blossom because it's part of him, and he's been blessed.
If she gets tired of me and says half, baby, then there'll be no argument there.
Sykes has about 50 employees year-round. That number grows to 200 during harvest time when he sends a couple of buses to Oaxaca, Mexico.
It's a great plan. These folks are great. We've had the same return workers. Generally, when I say return workers, I'd say 95 out of 100 return workers each year come back to pick onions. And then they'll go home. See, I'll bus them back home, and on the H-2A program, they may be back in North Carolina 2 months later doing sweet potatoes. So it's a great deal. It's a great deal for America, and it's a great program for us, and these are marvelous people.
The field workers average $10.62 an hour. The best make up to $300 a day. They're all in America legally, says Sykes.
The H-2A program, and that program is where we get legal workers from a foreign country. Primarily ours are from Oaxaca, Mexico, which is a farming state down in southern Mexico. And we have to get them passports and visas. We bus them up here and we provide housing. And They're fully insured under my insurance policy.
He provides shelter and transportation and even some things they don't have back home.
Like refrigeration and the water, for example. I mean, in so many places where they're from, water is so almost non-existent. So they, here in Georgia, they feel they have an infinite amount of water to bathe and drink in, and on top of that, they have hot water.
As much as possible, Sykes irrigates using surface water he captures in ponds. He says that preserves the water in the aquifer.
And if we're not, trying to use that surface water that's going to dissipate onto the ocean in a hurry anyhow instead of our aquifer water, then we might need to recheck our intentions.
During harvest season, April and May, the work week can be up to 100 hours.
We do attend funerals during onion season, but we don't have birthday parties and weddings.
That's a strain not only on people, but also equipment, which is Gary Gerald's area of responsibility.
It's a lot of pressure, a lot of time riding on what I do, all the labor, field crew wise, and the onion quality. If they're not dug when they need to be dug, you're losing time and money.
Hey, no way.
The money happens in here, several 100,000 feet, affectionately known as the shed.
You grow for show and you pack for dough, okay? But the problem with the packing is that's where all the money's at, and that's where the real work is. Anybody that's got a packing house owns a prison. We don't work on Sunday, but the packing house is open about 45 Saturdays out of the year, so it's basically a 6-day-a-week job, starting at 8 in the morning. Usually this time of year it's 11 or 12 o'clock.
This is the packing house where Vidalias are prepared with customized packaging for the stores that'll sell them. Costco, Super Value, Sam's.
Some stores like showcase boxes that you can see farther to the right here, which is an open top display box. And then our standard box, which is just a 40-pound carton that we use, that most customers, I like to say most, but what you really find out is everybody wants something different. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how prepared you are with packaging. You've got to have a dress for every occasion.
Vidalias like to be cool and dry, Sykes says, so there's refrigeration that gradually gets them cool and keeps them cool all the way to the store.
Come in here, you'll smell it, so.
There's also ozone to help control bacteria and fungi. And on the line, people survey the onions for things that might make them unsellable. All of that is part of the quality control process that's Sykes' biggest headache and the most fiercely guarded achievement.
The single biggest challenge to farming on this farm is being compliant, and the time it takes and the paperwork it takes to be compliant with food safety and any and all governmental regulations. So much of my time each day, especially when our season starts, is spending time with the latest person that pulled up with the car with the sticker on the side. It took us a little while to get it implemented, but we were one of the first farms to have full traceability. So whenever I send a box of onions from the farm across the road here to Cassopolis, Michigan, I can trace that onion from the day it was harvested, well, back to the seed where it came from, anything that was placed on it the day it was harvested, the drying room it was in. It's a no-joke traceability method. And even if that wasn't required anymore, we would still do that, because if there ever were an issue, then I can retrace and recall that particular lot and the other few affected lots, whatever the case may be. And if I didn't have a positive lot recall method, I'd have to recall all of my product. And by this time of year, with so much product we have across the country, that'd be financially devastating. If nobody quits, I'm quitting.
That has not happened to Sykes Farm in Collins, Georgia, in large measure because of the team that Alan put together with his wife Tracy and his sister Marcia. But the team member that gets the most credit and praise from Sykes is the one that's in charge of the weather.
We believe in the Lord. That's where our blessing comes.
Proud to be a Georgia farmer is sponsored by Lassiter Equipment Group.
F&B is celebrating 70 years of community banking, and since we are the area's only locally owned and operated bank, you will find that every dollar F&B will be invested right here at home. This makes a difference if you own a business. So come in and meet our business professionals who are experienced and ready to help you. We have a long history of serving our community and investing in local businesses. Those local dollars have helped our community grow, and we are ready to help your business grow too. Call us today at 912-489-2600.
WTOC wants you to get hired. Daniel Defense is a leading manufacturer of premier firearms for civilian, law enforcement, and military customers. If you have a commitment to quality and precision, we want you to join our team. We currently have multiple positions open for dedicated professionals like you. Daniel Defense offers competitive wages and benefits too, including paid holidays and vacation. Our brand new 300,000 square foot manufacturing facility is located right outside Savannah. Call or visit our website to learn more and to apply today.
I'm Shali Reynolds with Emerald Neuro Recover Center in Pooler, Georgia. We are an all-natural treatment option for recovery from addiction. By utilizing high-dose intravenous NAD and amino acids, we rapidly renourish and repair the damage to the brain that drugs and alcohol have caused. NAD therapy also eliminates cravings and minimizes withdrawal symptoms. This highly safe and effective treatment has a success rate of over 70%. So stop the revolving door of rehab and call us today.
If you're in the mood for food, fun, and fitness, then look no further. The Tatnall Trio is here to help. Located in Glenville and Reedsville, the Tatnall Trio is made up of your local Dairy Queen, Marco's Pizza, and Anytime Fitness. These three establishments have come together to give you only the best in food, fun, and fitness. The Tatnall Trio is also a proud sponsor of the Glenville Sweet Onion Festival. Come by and give us a try. We're here to serve you with a smile.
You meet the nicest people on a farm. We met Sam Baker over in Ailey, Georgia. Watch this, you'll agree.
I love it. Yeah. And my mother, she loves to come out here and just watch it water, you know. It's very, very peaceful.
Sam Baker was born on this land. He and his 8 brothers and sisters grew up farming just outside of Lyons.
Never heard of Ailey, I'm sure. Most of the time I tell people Vidalia because actually we are close to Vidalia.
Mr. Baker can tell the stories of his mom coming out into the field and picking vegetables in the morning that she'd cook for lunch for all of the children out working in the field. His mom was able to do that because his granddad was tight with $1.
My grandfather was a sharecropper for years and years, and he heard about this small tract of land as he was working in the field with other sharecroppers that had come up for sale. My grandfather was very frugal, and so he went unknowing to those people, went to the person that had the land and had the money to purchase the land, and he actually made the purchase, and then he told the sharecropper that at the end of the crop year, I won't be with you next year. I bought my own farm. Never used a tractor. He always plowed with the mules all the way up until he died in the early 70s.
His grandfather's name was Henry Baker.
Henry Baker was somebody when it came to farming. To buy a new one today would probably about $250,000, you know.
There are no mules on the Baker farm today. They've been replaced with technology that's tripled farm productivity in the last 70 years.
Runs off GPS. I wouldn't farm without one. I mean, I used to think they were ridiculous to have, but there's no way we could cover and do the kind of work we do without it. It's so precise.
But while technology has improved, Baker says the climate has not.
Well, we have to have irrigation. I mean, it's almost impossible to farm without irrigation. Water is expensive. The equipment is expensive, but it's even more expensive whenever you don't make a crop. You know, even just this past year, 2016, when we had those 60-something days of 90-plus degrees, which was a record. So that tells us that the temperature, the climate has changed a lot. And so that's what we farmers are struggling with. This is where everything happens.
There's a little one-room office next to the heavy equipment, the cerebral cortex that Sam and his three brothers use to navigate the complexities of today's ag world.
I've often said farmers have to be some of the best managers in the world because we operate on such a small margin. Our rate of return is nothing like most businesses are.
But Baker says he does not have to navigate any issues of race or color in a community and a profession where character, work, and faith are the only measures of a man.
I mean, I've had people of all sectors who've just been more than gracious to help me. I'm so proud I got a banker that has confidence in me, and you know, and all my suppliers, they accept me as a person, you know. You know? And I'm proud to say that, you know, that I can, because that's the world that we live in. We're all God's children.
Are you or someone you love having difficulty hearing? A major name brand hearing aid provider has a special one-time offer, a free in-office trial, and an incredible discount on a remarkable new hearing instrument. This offer is free of charge, and you are under no obligation. Now is the perfect time to see how well you could be hearing your children, your grandchildren, and your friends. These computerized digital hearing instruments use the latest technology. They're so small they hide out of sight while performing millions of precise calculations per second to give you the highest range of comfortable hearing. These instruments are clinically demonstrated to improve hearing in noisy environments. Every participant will be required to have a free hearing evaluation to determine candidacy. This is your opportunity to find out the level of benefit you can expect to receive from hearing aids. After the in-office trial, you may purchase the instruments at a substantial discount with a 30-day guarantee full refund. Call today to take advantage of this special one-time free offer.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare Health Plans with zero or low plan premium. Call 1-877-424-1281 now. That's 1-877-424-1281. Representatives will provide detailed information and help see if you qualify. WellCare provides access to a large network of local and regional doctors and hospitals. Plus, some plans may include benefits for dental, vision, hearing, Part D prescription drugs, and more. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be right for you. Call 1-877-424-1281 now. That's 1-877-424-1281.
When we do this next year, we may call it Proud to Know a Georgia Farmer. When 2% of us feed the other 98% and a whole lot of folks around the world, they've really accomplished something. When you get the chance, don't forget to say thanks to a farmer. In Glenville, Dow Kennedy, WTOC News.
The closer you get to home, the more you know the commute is worth it. For all the work you pour into this place, you sure get a lot more out of it. You and that John Deere tractor, so versatile, you can keep dreaming up projects all the way home. It's a longer drive, but just like a John Deere, it's worth it. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Our only motivation is to provide you great service, savings, and equipment. It's our everyday. Visit LassiterEQ.com.
Show